Okay, so we really don't need for you guys to see what I was looking at. Just know that I'm actually looking at my map. Not Google Earth this case, Google Maps. And what I'm trying to accomplish here is in this view, I try to line it up to north-south. This actually runs north-south. This being Highway 35, Skyline Boulevard, which runs on down and splits into the Great Highway, which runs along the beach all the way down towards Seal Rock, the Cliff House, the infamous Cliff House, Lands End, and then it comes around. But we're not going into that right now. So, with that armament, I jump back into my map mode, and I discovered that, well, I just was kind of freelancing into it, and seeing as I was already committed into hole 1 and 2 with a lot of extensive work, I was going to redo the layout a little bit closer to the actual course layout based off of what I already had. So it's gotten a little bit more interesting yet confusing. These are right. This is supposed to be like the tennis court area, which I can't represent. There's going to be a lot more trees in here. This is like a parking lot area over here. The driving range runs over in here, but I'm not going to simulate that. There's a little practice hole area back over here along the entrance road into the clubhouse. There's actually a different type of building here. I'm just simulating a building here. A lot of little downhill, nice walkways, flowers, all that good stuff that I'm not going to include. Gonna have to take this stuff and move it up over in here. This one's gonna actually come up over in here. Then there's another practice green facility back in here, which I may or may not add in. More trees that run around it and protect it. Just fun stuff. Okay, for that right now. Now I gotta go back to my map. As a reference, you can't see this. I might include a snapshot of it later. I could probably insert it. There's always a way of doing this stuff. Just so you kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. I just came off of hole 6, which is this. Yeah, you can't see what I'm talking about, so I shut up here. This point will all be edited out. I'm going to lengthen hole 6 on top of everything else because it is a whopping 489 yards. There was a write-up saying that the first 6 holes were probably the toughest 6 holes in U.S. Open golf history. So I can see on my map that the 6-hole tee box is actually about 50 yards across and just off of the fairway of the 4th. So look at my 4th. I'm going to grab once again. I get to move this. So it says it's just about off in there. This is more like about where it's at. But if I do that, something's not right. So I'm going to go out there. That's about right. Gotta remove 5 again. It's so hard to try to make this as close as possible to the real thing. But it is what it is. The 8th hole, actually the tee box, if you were to look at the map layout, you would see that the tee box of the 8th is close proximity to the tee box of the 6th. More headaches. Because now that that's probably a little bit, I gotta try to keep the green about where it was. And 3 and 8 run pretty close to being parallel to each other. Seven actually comes back by the green. More like that. It's a little bit better routing. 9. Kind of almost runs parallel with 6. Almost, not quite. That's looking more closer to it. Is pretty close. If I'm just looking at my map here, which you cannot see right now, as it runs to the north, it's probably like about 300 degrees from the center point. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So that's probably a little more like 330. It should be more this way. But now I'm splitting hairs, and due to limitations of everything, I'm not going to get it exactly perfect. But I'm going to try to get it real close. That's the part of me that I can't stand. I'm more of a perfectionist than anything else. And there's just no way. Which is going to mean the 11's going to get changed. Excuse me, heavy breathing. Yeah. I'm more happy with that. Now I can come back and get 18 to be more in tune to what's going on. And now it looks more like about a 300 from the center. And 18. Let's come back this way a little bit. It's kind of unfortunate that you do not get to see the map I'm looking at. Get a good feel on what's going on here. But it's kind of important to me too. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to try my damnedest to do it as close to being right as possible. I don't just like wasting my time doing something and not making it the best as it possibly can be. A little break here as I drink my power juice. This is a plug for the NutriBullet. I love making my NutriBlast drinks. Before going further, do a quick save. And trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. It looks like my leg's gonna be changed a little bit here too. I may have to open it up a little bit. I have raised, you can't really tell much now. But I have done a lot of elevation changes, even since the last video I did. Deleted out that so-called ocean course for now. My simulated road that's not even going to be a road is going to come up, because it's going to basically follow the contour of the first hole. So I have to do a lot more elevation changes in there. This will raise up. And I'll try to simulate it as it follows out towards Daly City. back over in here, there's going to be, I'll try to simulate them more, a couple holes of the ocean course, but that's just neither here nor there. It's not even going to be worth it, I don't think, for the time. If I have the time, I'll do it. It's a lower priority because, like I said, there's no roads, so all I can do is simulate. I might leave it as a course, as a placeholder for an update later if we ever get roads, and way I can do parking lots and that. However, I ramble. But you can see that I do have a little bit more runoff now coming off the side of the hill. I'll work more on this because after I raised it again, I got to go back in and kind of work on the angle, the slope. Probably gonna have to do a little more on the second. Heck, I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on the second yet. These were what I use for giving me a rough estimate as to how much width I want for my fairways. I'll delete them later. This all stamped down. Tons of work yet. Okay, back to the routing. You can now see that this course has got a lot longer. It's now coming in at 710, or yeah, 7,210 yards in length for a par 70. I must not have something exactly right because it's trying to tell me it's 7,170 yards. So I'll be making some more changes along the way here, I'm sure. Must have something wrong. I'll be checking it, and I'm sure I'll find it. Anyway, I'm not happy with the way 10 and 11's looking right now. Something's not right. Gotta have to do a little deletion of how come I don't get multiple select or multiple delete? Multiple select. Select. This is just confusing the hell out of me right now. John Eric was saying, how did I go about doing this? Well, you see, now I'm going over here to delete, click enter, press the change, you can see some of the stuff disappear. Go back to select. Just start clicking away, highlighting the brushes that I want to get rid of. Don't worry if you don't get them all, you'll catch them later. Doesn't cooperate, delete it and just go on. Something weird. I think that was where my original layout I had for the third hole. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Fun stuff. Okay, now I can see a little more what I'm trying to do. My layout's starting to look a little better again. I'm really starting to get concerned about this area. Now that I've changed everything around, trying to make it look like the real deal. I just opened the whole can of worms again. I can go back to my reference points. That's why I put this road in here, so I can run north-south, get an idea of what's happening. And I'm not really happy with what's going to be required for me to do now. Good old spinach banana apple. Some power boost, energy boost, steel cut oats, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, all blended up. Yum, yum. Okay. Six, 7. Seven, 8. 9. Oh, am I going to destroy 10 now? Again, to reference my map that you can't see right now. Take a look at where 99th fairway comes off. 10 actually comes right off the green, probably about 50 yards for the tee box. And jets almost north, slightly. Oh yeah, this is going to cause a lot of fun. Cute. Which makes 11 do something like this for now. Actually, 11 looks like it comes down. You'd laugh if you'd seen what I was doing. This is actually kind of nightmarish. Like I said, welcome to my nightmare. Map comes up. I actually have a printout of a map that I'm using as a reference. Actually had another one laying around. I don't know what to do with it. I think it's in my car. Joy, fun. Alright, so one's north, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 is almost 280, 270 degrees, not about 280. Off of 10th tee. And it actually runs, the green runs on the inside of 5. Cute. Kind of something like that. Which means 6 gets an adjustment again. I can't go per scale, but we can kind of get it close, like I said. All sorts of little fancy stuff here. Ive is like a 598, so like this. 498. I said 500, but it's 498. To the center of the green. Obviously, that's how they measure it, from T center to green. Okay, I'm happy with that. Is a 430, that's right. totally realistic. Like I said, it's not really possible, but it's worth a try. $10 for all essential purposes, but it's $424. That's what it is. Wish I had multiple waypoints. That would make this a lot more accurate too, but HB says no, we're only getting one waypoint, so therefore I got to do some other fanciness to try to emulate the actual layout of the course. I can't do it because actually this is it would be like this, and then down like this, and then cut over. I can't do it. So the actual course will look like I'll have this it's actually a pain in the butt. But my green will be there. It comes out like this, and then it runs like this here, all the way down here, then it cuts over in here. But it is what it is. Like I said, this is why I cannot make the course exactly like it is. It's almost disappointing. The length's going to vary because now it will be longer in the center line, but it will not be perfect because the actual length will have changed. If I had multiple waypoints I could use, the accuracy would be a lot better. But it isn't, so that's the way it goes. Some parts of me cannot be a perfectionist all the way. There's just some things I can't do in my control. I can only hope to get it somewhat right. However, I'm actually getting closer to the true distance of the actual yardage of the course. They say it's 7170. I'm now down to 7193. There's actually a double dog leg in this. That's close enough. Well, now 12 has got to be moved. Gotta look at how 12 ran off again. 12 almost parallels 5. supposed to be back about where the brake is and comes in. That's about right. So I'll move it out a little bit more. There is some artistic abilities going in here. Okay, now for my par 3, it runs off. Okay, about 320. More like about 150. If I was looking from the center. Let's make sure I'm not losing anything. That's still north-south. And close to the T-bonds. So that's about right. It looks pretty close visually. $14. Again, refer to my map. Okay. 13, 14's all whilst right off to the green. And it runs kind of parallel with 12. It comes into 11 close like that. Oh yeah, that's pretty close. I'm already getting happy again here. As long as I don't have to redo my lake too much, I'll be happy. That'll be pretty close. And now, 15. Interesting enough, runs like about like this. It's actually off of the green, just off, kind of like, looking at the picture, that's pretty close. I have to do a little adjustment on my lake, but I got room to do it because Lake Muir Drive runs, John Muir Road runs along the side over here. I'm gonna have to do some stuff on that too. Again, I can't put a road in, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. 15. Now I might get away with my long 16. And it'll leave my open up area for my 2 practice homes, or my 2 practice holes, and Olympic Village it sits over in here. 16 is going to be interesting. Maybe I can adjust 10 just a little bit more. No, escape. I said 10. So I don't want 10 too close. I want it close enough. Okay, so I'll move it over just a tad. Now I can play with 15 again. As you can see, there's quite a bit of time that you gotta take to do something to get it close. Okay, I'm a little more happy with that. 16 is gonna be my nightmare. However, it has a long sweeping. Yeah, I'm gonna have trouble. Dang it. Let's see it already. It's almost like a crescent moon. Oh, yeah. It follows 10. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have fun. It means I'm gonna have to do some fanciness out here in my lake, because I wouldn't here. Joy, joy, fun, fun. While I'm here, might as well do it now. 17 is gonna get its movement too. Might as well do that now while I'm in here. Alright, so the tee box is underwater now too. Which means this is wrong. This actually comes more over in here, because this is where my tennis courts will be. But no big deal. And my parking lot's over here. It's just all minor stuff. Can't simulate any of it, can't reproduce any of it, so it doesn't really matter. It's just I don't want to have any trees in that area, so if I have heavy rough there, when I do what I normally never do, when I do this in the end, I won't have any trees there. It'll keep the trees away somewhat. Same thing when I do that over in here. Again, I digress. Okay, I'm just going to do one more quick thing here and then I'm out of here. This is taking a lot longer than I kind of want to spend for right now. Rest I've got to get ready to go to work and stuff. So, let me kind of jump in here and use a little red brush action. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, it's going the opposite way. Dang it. Oh, shit. So that went the wrong way too. Try and do this in a hurry. Nope. Wrong. I hate the red brush, by the way. So why am I trying to use it? Never have success for it. Sometimes, yeah, I'm not in the mood for it right now. So I'll just take my old flattening brush right now. I just want to make sure that I have a good starting point when I come back later. And these holes are only like, it doesn't tell me right now. It's not going to give me the accurate reading I'm looking for. But they're only like about 4 meters above sea level. Remember, I have 2 simulated holes I got to worry about over here. This is supposed to be the Olympic Village, and they got 2 long practice holes. They run on the inside of 16. Gotta get impatient. So I notice I just went into the raised brush just to, no, that's going to get too long. I just want to have my height up. I'll adjust all this later. Just trying to get my idea going here. All right. Almost satisfied. Except I'm never satisfied. So I can change 18 again. Cute. Even though I want to keep it where it's at. I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit. That way I can adjust 9. So I can adjust 7, so I can adjust 6. So that means I can adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust. And come back and adjust 11. And this is what it takes when you're trying to do a real course. Okay, that's about all I'm going to do for right now. Have a good day. And now we'll take a look at the remainder of what I have done since then. After rerouting my cores, you can see I've thrown in basically a borderline of Skyline Boulevard, Highway 35, and John Muir Road that kind of runs around the lake. It's not finished, but this part is not going to matter too much. There's actually a bridge that runs across this way to the other side. I may not put that in either, just because I don't feel like it. This island doesn't belong. I'll extend my lake up into here a little more. But now you can see I'm really kind of happy with the routing of my holes this time. I've smoothed out some of the area. Guess I really need to get rid of that tree too. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't want to get rid of that tree. Maybe all I want to really do is move it. So, what's in store? A little more slope, and I'll add in some of the trees in there. I'll widen this area out a little bit more because it basically stays about 30 yards and it kind of tapers into about 20. I'll have to delete this area a little bit. Then I'm going to start doing my bunkers in here. All 5 of them. Throw in a couple trees, throw in my practice green. Throw in my little practice hole on this side. Let's see, I'm going to have to go in here and do a little more adjustment of the land here too. Because when I raised and lowered, I told you I raised up the terrain a little bit. Like another whopping 10 meters just to get me up to about 220, 230 feet above sea level. Which is what Google Earth kind of tries to tell me. Also, I'm going to have to do a little more creative fixing of my fairway again because I just screwed it all up. I'm not going to go into that. That's later. I'm getting ready to go to work here soon, so life at the driving range is so much fun. Anyway, again, once the trees start filling in, I will use auto-gen trees and then clean them out. But the whole purpose of using the simulated roads, it keeps my auto-gen trees out of the way. I will clear out what I don't want, but it also helps me from not having to plant that many. The last thing I'll be doing is adding the auto-gen trees. I'll constantly look at them for reference points. I will end up probably throwing in my BS course in here and try to do the so-called Olympic Village, or just adding a couple buildings in there to simulate that, yeah, there are buildings there, and it kind of sucks. I don't know. Anyway, just a little tease. But now it's starting to really take a look at it and starting to form into what I'm after. Also, you'll see that I got rid of a lot of the other so-called holes I wanted to simulate. I may or may not add those in later. Like I said, Fort Funston hangs out over here. This would all be ocean. Can't have it. It's not going to happen. A little par 3 course right on the other side of here. Then more cliffs, and further on up you'd have all ocean. It's not going to happen. There's actually a little road that runs over on this side around, and then you get into this area would be my ocean course. Again, I'm not going to bother with all that. I might try to simulate a couple of holes just to eliminate trees jumping where I don't want them, but that's all low priority. Like I said, there's 2 holes that run. One comes this way, green sits up in here, and then the other tee runs down this way, and there's a group of trees that run in here. So that's what I have so far.